from their globe-trotting Auntie Jill. Now, little do they know that this gift acts as a portal to distant lands and amazing adventures for the girls. Now, it's kind of interesting because when they open the gift, Sophie, who always wears green, as you can see, she's right there, and on that one too, she thinks it's beautiful because it's a crystal covered frame. Looks like a bunch of diamonds all over the frame. Where Scotty thinks it's incredibly boring. And then something happens that changes their mind. The picture that is put into the frame from their globetrotting Auntie Jill, it activates the frame. And it begins to glow and grow. And in fact, the frame gets so big that the corners of it, as it grows into their bedroom, almost starts to chip away at the plaster in the ceiling. So they look at each other and they're like, oh my gosh, this is no ordinary frame, it's magical. Now the girls are very smart and they decide to negotiate with each other if and when they go through the frame. Of course, Sophie's like, oh, I don't think we should go. Or Scotty's like, we're there, right? And so anyways, they do eventually go through the frame because they're much too curious and they know this is a gift from their Auntie Jill, so it must be safe. And in the Monarch book, the girls have to find out what happened to the monarch butterflies. I don't know if you all are aware of the Great Migration that happens and goes to Mexico. Well, something happened and millions of monarchs are disappearing. And most of them didn't even show up. And then for the Something's Fishy book, something's going on with the ocean currents. And they need to help figure out what's happening on this remote Pacific island. And that leads me to what I put into these books are a dash of science. Because when I would volunteer at my kids, I have two girls that are in college now, but when I did volunteer in their classrooms, I was always volunteering during reading time. And it seemed like the kids who, the types of books that they would be giving or reading with me were either action books or mysteries, and there are also books, chapter books, that they had a tough time getting through. So I felt, this is my inspiration. I need to write for this age group, which is considered middle grade or ages 8 to 12. And so that's what I have done with these two books. And so the dash of science that I put into the books is what I call edutainment. So the Monarch book, the reader learns about monarch butterflies, pollination. They learn about radio waves, which all goes into the plot of the book. And then for the Something's Fishy, in that book, the reader learns about ocean currents, Amelia Earhart, plumerias, magnets, and dolphins. My third book, which is in editing right now, it centers around sugar, because kids love sugar, and it's called Sophie and Sky's Adventures of Sweet Tooth Rock. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with Poway, that's where I live. There's this huge rock in the eastern hills of Poway called Tooth Rock. And so I thought, well, what a great idea. I'm going to put this tooth rock in this story in some way, and then it just wound up on the title as well. For my first book, I have 3 awards so far. I have the Silver 2014 Mom's Choice Award, as well as the Gold 2015 Family Choice Award for the Monarch book. And I also have I was a finalist for the San Diego Book Awards for Best Published Children's Book. And, and my